So at the beginning and end of each day, I try as best I can to take an amazing walk around this incredible property that I call home. And just treasure all the gifts here and everything that I've done, looking way back when I was 13 and being in bed and sensing doom, and that I wouldn't live past high school. That was actually a personal feeling I had, having gone through an immensely difficult panic disorder awakening, and I was truly petrified for one reason or another. My family was making some changes, and ballet was no longer something that was in the budget. And it was my entire identity. And I truly think what happened was it just robbed me of my core. And I didn't pull from any strength. I just shattered. And lucky me, I was very fortunate because at the time, an allergy doctor by the name of Kenneth Landauer, who's long since gone, God rest his soul, became for me a stepping stone to my survival. So I'm just going to say to everyone today, it doesn't have to be the perfect counselor, although I've got a great one now. It doesn't have to be anybody in particular. It's just somebody who cares, who catches you in that moment of vulnerability, and allows you to speak your truth, which I did. Let's just take a grape for a moment, and then we can travel on. So we're going to come down. We've got so many wonderful bunches of grape. Anyway, amazing Dr. Landauer. And I'll also say right now, this tree of life, started from probably my mother just putting a branch in the ground. Oh my goodness. Let's say a wish. So my wish was at the moment, so actually we can do that right now. So let's just do it. We're going to find a nice, healthy, thick branch right here. We're going to break it because we can. And just like Dr. Landauer is saying, Jan, take a deep breath. Go home and start writing a journal. I was 13. I had no idea about how to write a journal, how to compose anything. But I knew I was a ballet dancer, and I knew that was my entire life. And something about that was just drifting away. And I was having a hard time coping. But what I did after nights of waking up, not being able to scream or talk, but panic just would come over me. So petrified, I heard him and I started to listen. And so I got one of those old-fashioned journal books, the kind that we've written in for years. I must have in one of the closets over there in my home. I must have 40 of them. Anyway, every night after I studied, I wrote a page. And one day I'll read a part of it to you. Page number 1. I named it Brandy after a puppy that I had. Dear Brandy. And it didn't happen immediately that this panic disorder, or whatever you want to call it, disappeared. It took time. Okay, so what are we going to do? We've got a plant there. We've got a plant there. We're going to plant it right here. But we have to remember, per Bernie, that these guys get immensely huge. And see how it's going up to the wires there. So I have to prune all these and keep... It's just, there's always got to be a job. But I've got to prune these willows. But for right now, for today, what we're going to do is we say a prayer and we find a place to put this branch in the ground if we can. Yeah, the problem today is that the ground is very, very, very dry. So we're just going to keep trying because that's how it's done. We just keep trying. And I like to get it like really, really close. See, here's one that I planted. I like to get it as close as I can to the fence line. Let's come on over here and see. Let's try it again. Well, my point is, my dear friends, I pleaded with my mom because this panic thing just didn't want to go away. And it stayed and it infiltrated my entire life and my being of who I was. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. I got it in the ground. So I'll let you guys see. There we go. Okay, so then what you have to do, my dear friends, is you just wind it, and you wind it up around the, that's great. Let's put it up here. Okay, there we go. We come up higher. You know, in Europe, some of the great English gentlemen, they create a fence out of willow trees. And that was my initial goal, but then I never cut them down, or I never wound them quite correctly. But this is how it should start, just like this. So we're going to pray on this. Who knows, maybe we'll get some rain soon. But even if we don't, that's okay. So back to my story. I just started to write, and that became my solace. Look at this. We don't want this. This tree is getting water, but we're going to take this out. If anybody wants to come and help me, they can. So we take the weed out of the ground. So I wrote daily, and then I made a contract with my mom, and I told her I was totally unable and incapable of going to the public junior high. It just, I knew the bullying that would take hold. I felt it, and I knew I would be see how the water is dripping? At night we do this. I have planted maybe 350 olive trees. Of all of them, maybe 100 survived. Quite a few of them are non-fruiting olive trees. This one is a fruiting olive tree, but it doesn't have a whole lot of fruit. I need to talk to it more and give it more life and give it more nutrients in the ground. Well, what gave me nutrients was writing. And so my writing was pretty basic. How was my day? Did I shake that day? Did I get through that day? Did I have a panic attack? And amazingly, I was going to that one doctor. He was my allergy doctor, Kenneth Landauer. He was not a psychologist. He just knew people and quite adept at helping people. And you never know. Perhaps he had panic attacks when he was a child and was able to help me through it. So I wrote, and I guess you could say I overcame. I had periods where I would go to the blackboard and be unable to write, and people would laugh. But my mother saw just how challenged I was, and she listened. And she allowed me to go to this spectacular school in Tuxedo Park, New York, which was a high school where the nuns taught us. And in that 1 year of self-disbelief, where the class sizes were like 10 to 20, I had to take a train to school somehow, some way. Although it wasn't 100% miraculous, it allowed me to start loving myself again. And what a gift that is. If we ever lose the ability to love ourselves or love a piece of land, and we lose sight of just how precious we are, we've got to find a way to get it back again. We've got to find a way to get it back again, because every living creature, every olive tree, and by the way, any of you who want some olive branches, please, 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 please write to me, call me, tell me, because I'd be more than happy to send some to you. So my life started to blossom, and even though ballet had essentially, being in a company, had essentially come to a screeching halt, as I said, that was my life. I evolved, and the process of this one school where the class size were 10 to 15 people saved me. I took the train every day. I wrote every night. I walked home from the train station. And I did a lot of self-healing in this process. At the end of this year, not quite the end, the nuns announced that that school would be open for 1 more year. And therefore, those of us freshmen at the end of the first year would have to find a way and find a new home for high school. Another great challenge, but opportunity. See, this poor branch is dead and needs to be moved, which I will. So I could take a direct walk down here, but I think what we'll do is we'll walk the complete exterior of the property today. What I'm hoping to do, I have so many dreams, but what I'm hoping to do, there's a gentleman from Maine who does beautiful stonework, and I will do 2 edifices, one on either side here, as well as down on the other side, to create more of, an entrance and a gate, so I can decide whether I want to walk this way or not. Anyhow, we're gonna keep going. So the next most important step, actually we will go straight in. My next most important step was to go to the the high school in my hometown. There was no other choice. And I felt surprisingly healed and surprisingly a lot of self-love. And I had an amazing family, actually. And we did amazing things. We lived in probably one of the best areas in northern New Jersey. I did not lack for things, but my internal self-worth, next to my parents, my mother, who was a thriving business person, and my dad, an avid outdoorsman. I don't know where I came from or whatever, but dancer, poet, artist. So this newfound love for architecture and buying this land and creating this has been an immense dream that's come true. I went to a place called Ridgewood High School and had a blast. And joined, well, this is interesting. It looks like this is the creation. My gardener occasionally, I have to ask him if this little area is intended. Maybe it actually looks like it's already intended for a fire. Not a really good idea. So maybe I'll move it tomorrow. But my point here, whenever you're challenged by something that seems like it's greater than life, and it rocks you to the core where you're not even sure that you'll be able to carry on, and you don't know how to find a way, you can always reach out and touch me and have a conversation. I mean, better than that, I take it one step further. And the step that I'm referencing is, in order to create a beautiful life, one must harness one's insides completely. And to harness one's insides means loving oneself, saving, investing in oneself, whatever it is. I've been so blessed to save babies for years and years and years, to become a financial advisor and help people create an unwavering stability and focus of their life, to become many things. This mini estate is my wealth, and now I have a grandchild. So for me tonight, sharing this with you is just a series. Where are we going to put this? Because we want to put this somewhere where it's going to grow and flourish. Why don't we just put it where we have this other tree? Here. Hold on a second. This is an olive tree. So we're not going to put it here, but we can put it, hold on, there's a willow there, but let's put it right back here. And I will need a stake to get it grounded. But it's always so much fun when you stake out your claim for a new location. Hold on, let's get a wetter place. Maybe back here. Hold on, here we go. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay, so put it directly in the ground. See, that, my dear friends, that is the Reach helicopter. That probably, my dear friends, from the ALS team at Cultivates, they actually could be on that Reach helicopter tonight, saving a baby, getting a baby from up here. Part of my team. Anyway, whether it's your psychology, I need a steak. I'll get a steak tomorrow morning. Whether it's your psychology, whether it's a portfolio that you need to create, I'm here, and as a fiduciary, my goal is to assist you. I count my blessings every day that I ran into Dr. Ken Landauer that one day, and he said, believe in yourself. Tomorrow we'll do the whole walk, all the way to the back of the property. He said, believe in yourself, right? Not for anyone else, but for yourself. And truly, the lessons of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, when he says, whatever you vividly imagine and truly believe will come to pass. And you burn that in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, and you make it real. And my dear friends, that's what we will do every day together. I will take a walk with you every evening and ask of you, do you love yourself? Are you putting yourself first? Are you your first choice? Because if you are, and you harness, take some of these crazy weeds out, and you harness that ability to save and grow and invest. You know, sometimes you pick the wrong weed and things don't come out the way they should. Well, especially in the dark. How silly of me. Anyway, choose yourself first. These poor olive trees need some love. And that's what we're going to do. We'll put a big, big farm table back here and a couple of amazing olive trees. Put yourself first. Count your blessings. And I love you all. And I will see you again. All my grapevines, my apple trees, my figs, my olives. We have a lot to be thankful for. We have so much to be thankful for. Let's make one last trip up here. Look at this tree. And we'll call it a night. Well, actually, this is the catalpa tree with the heart-shaped leaves. Isn't this amazing? This is a magical tree. But we're going to come over here to one of these wonderful, wonderful trees and just ring the bell my mom gave me. We need another one. We need another one. Anyway, have a lovely night and love yourself. Good night.